Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Colonial Impact Wrestling, first episode of Conquest. My name is the Colonist. Let's get it going right now. Our first match between Magus and the Prince of Persia. Magus making his return to CIW after Agent 47's loss in August Asylum to Mr. Clean. And Prince of Persia, who's been here for the entire time and has just sucked the entire time. This is the Winless Wonder match. So whoever wins this match will be one and however many it is. I don't remember because I don't have the notebook on me. I'm pretty sure Magus is like 0-5 and Prince of Persia is like 0-6. So they're pretty close together. Magus tapped out, of course, if you remember the Eliminator match way back in the day. Hasn't been around for a good 6 or 7 months. But it's good to have him back. It's good to have him back in the fold, and it's good to have the Prince of Persia always up for a fight. And one of these two is going to walk out of here not horrible. And that is what the goal of CIW is. Not horrible. And that's what we're really here for. And without further ado, let me be the first man to welcome back Magus.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, from parts unknown, the Vampire.
So, you want to know how much my internet sucks? My internet sucks so bad that instead of taking like 40 minutes to upload to YouTube, Gut Check, which is being posted because I'm recording this well in advance, but Gut Check is taking 3 hours to upload to YouTube. So that's pretty much where I am. I am in like the dead zone of the whole house in my room, which is pretty much a shame. But anyway, here comes Magus. Not getting about me. This isn't about me. This is about CIW. This is about Magus, who happily is making his return to the ring. Although he doesn't really seem too happy, but pretty well received here, I would like to say. I think he got a fair amount of cheers. And so Magus making his way to the ring. Here comes a SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 glitch where you just don't hear the music. Fans just dead, don't really care anymore. I'm guessing we'll probably see the same thing from Prince of Persia because we always do. However, I have to say, something interesting worth noting is that one of the most over people in CIW as far as who people want to watch is the Prince of Persia. Only beaten, I think, by Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, Symbiote Spider-Man, and... oh, here comes Prince of Persia.
And the opponent, from Edmond, Oklahoma. From Oklahoma, Philip.
So what we're going to do is we're going to try and get Al Snow a little bit more incorporated into this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start live tweeting at Al Snow for each one of these matches. I don't know how much he's going to really care, but you know what? It's worth a shot. I think it's worth a shot. And yeah, see, my phone just said internet not available. Anyway, here comes the Prince of Persia, and it's always as soon as his sword gets taken out that everyone just kind of stops. Like everyone just completely uninterested in this guy as soon as the sword comes out. Wait for it. Sword comes out and dead. Yep. Just slowly but surely, they're just like, oh, he brought the sword out again. Maybe it's his gimmick. Maybe people just don't like this gimmick out of Prince of Persia. Maybe they like him as an athlete, even though he's terrible and hasn't won anything, but they just don't like the gimmick. I mean, it's very possible. I've had certain people who I've liked a lot as an athlete and didn't really care for their gimmick, and therefore it made me a little less interested in them. Who's a good example of that? Honestly, I think that I'm trying to think of somebody who I've had that happen with, but certainly Prince of Persia. Now that the fans are dead, I guess fans don't really care for either of these guys. This is going to be the very first match of new CIW Conquest referee Jerry Jones, the referee and the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Now we put Jerry Jones. Jerry agreed to do this somewhat begrudgingly because, you know, everyone has been complaining about the refs in the Cowboys-Lions game and then the refs called in the Cowboys-Packers game. So it seems only fair that the guy who they say paid the refs off is, in fact, himself a referee. Adds a little more credibility to his, position. But, so, I'm going to be able to do this match. I'm excited that Conquest is back. Now, let me talk a little bit. Actually, no, we'll do that in the second match. We got plenty of time. But you know what I really should do is I really should start like writing down like a card of things to talk about. Like have topic cards so I don't just start treading water with my commentary. Which ends up happening a lot with me, especially because I'm doing this alone, so it makes it a little bit difficult to be able to accurately say what I want to say without coming across repetitive. And I don't mean to do that, but the match has now begun. And starts out with Magus Irish whipping Prince of Persia into the corner, a retaliation of sorts from what Prince of Persia just did to Magus. So both of these two just feeling each other out. Oh, and a thumb to the eye. And guess what, people? We have camera cuts now. See, we have really stepped up. What a DDT, and how emphatic was that, seeing it from a camera cut. It's beautiful. And a nice counter DDT by Magus onto the Prince of Persia. Neither of these men really getting a firm start just yet. And a nice counter there by Prince of Persia. And these counters look so much more epic when you've got camera cuts. And now an abdominal stretch. Is the Prince of Persia going to tap out? And Magus going to tap in his first win? And no. Not going to happen this time. But then again, anything can happen here in CIW. And now Magus with a low blow, blatant low blow, really, really wants to get back and make a statement here in CIW. I talked to him in the back, like 3 weeks ago when we were supposed to record this because we brought these people in 2 or 3 times. And I talked to Magus and he said the one thing that he really wants to assert, and a nice backbreaker by Prince of Persia, but the one thing he wants to assert is that he is the truly supreme dark being here in CIW. The underrated, I should add, dark being in CIW. And only time will tell if he's going to be able to assert that position. Does not have the track record for his case just yet. But picking up a win here would do wonders for this guy's career. And the Prince of Persia with a punch to the back. Prince of Persia so far getting the better of the exchange. And there right again, another counter by the Prince of Persia onto Magus and a European uppercut. And he's from Persia, so I guess it's not a surprise that he would know a European uppercut. Must have traveled there every so often. I mean, I don't really know the story of the Prince of Persia very well, but here comes a groin attack. Referee Jerry Jones laughing, maniacally laughing at Magus and the Prince of Persia, is getting joy out of the Prince of Persia's pain. And I don't think Jerry Jones even knew that you could do that. And now he's doing all these hand motions. He's laughing his ass off right now. And a nice kick, nice back thrust kick. I'm not really sure what to call that, but it was an impressive maneuver plus a flying neck breaker. And the Prince of Persia, every time Magus starts to get something going, Prince of Persia's right back with a counter. And it's been very impressive thus far between the two of them. Irish whip and now a reversal, a DDT. And now Magus starting to build a little momentum. And I'm going to ask Selfie, the girl who... Oh, nice flying clothesline. I'm going to ask the girl that I've been dating, whose nickname is Selfie from Final Fantasy VIII. And a West Coast pop, or at least half of it. The cover, 1. Is it over here, 2? And no. Only 2. Magus staying in this match. Does not want to lose on his first night back. And a clothesline and a bulldog is not going to help his case, however. And now, oh, what a low blow. And again, reasserting that he will do whatever it takes to win is Magus. Magus now more of a no-nonsense fighter, at least it has seemed to me. And now a wrenching knee into the back of Persia. Will he tap out here? Is Magus going to get his first victory the way he left CIW through tap out? And it is not going to happen on that exchange, but Magus staying on top of him, being as assertive as he can and being as aggressive as he possibly can by staying on the Prince of Persia, not giving him any time to breathe. And a nice Russian leg sweep, thus emphasizing my point. And completely in control right now is Magus after Prince of Persia got going on the first half of the match. And now a leg attack, take a drink, as I shall. And will there be a tap out in this time? These guys have the privilege of opening up CIW's first episode of Conquest, Prince of Persia is pretty knowledgeable and experienced in groundbreakers and groundbreaking matches. Was the very first match between Symbiote Spider-Man, has almost 400 views at this point. I cannot thank all of you enough for watching that crappy-ass programming that led to this decent-ass programming. And now, might be going for Dark Matter. Bam! Got it! Oh! Look at that! Look at those camera cuts! It's beautiful! What a beautiful match this is! And how amazing the quality has become compared to the previous versions. But Prince of Persia not going to say die just yet. Nice elbow. In the back of the elbow, right to the front of the head, if you will, of Prince of Persia. And these two trying as best they can. I gotta give it to Jerry Jones. He's done a pretty good job, and a nice drop toe hold by Prince of Persia, who is not wanting to lose again in a debut match. Here we are, almost a year later, and we have some amazing things going on, and now looking for another leg attack, this time onto Magus. Is Magus going to tap out? And wouldn't that be somewhat poetic? Both of these two have everything to gain from the winning this match, but which one is going to take home the props of being the man who won the first ever match of Conquest? Magus needs it just so he doesn't continue his losing streak and look like a fool after coming out of being fired. And the Prince of Persia, who's been here so long, has been notorious for losing big scale matches. And, well, he's been notorious for losing every match, but he doesn't want to lose another starter. But a nice DDT and a nip-up. And what an athletic set of moves by Magus. And now I can tell that Magus is not fooling around here when it comes to his match. And now went for a knee to the gut, but countered by the Prince of Persia, who's not willing to give up either. Both of these two wrestling this match. Springboard and misses. Neither of these two men willing to give an inch, wrestling this match as if it were a pay-per-view and a title were on the line. And that is the type of match I look forward to watching in CIW. That's what got me into CIW in the first place. When that very first match happened, as bad a quality as the video was, that match was a classic match. One that will go down in history, maybe as one of the best singles matches in CIW history. Top 5, I would bet. And now, look at the sleeper hold. Is it going to make Prince of Persia tap out here? Is it going to be over? No. But that match signified what was to come, and we have seen nothing short of excellent, excellent matches thus far. And now, maybe, looking for another Dark Matter, and bam, here we go, more camera angles, dead, and dead. But Prince of Persia, no selling it at all, not going to give Magus the satisfaction of selling his finisher. That was hysterical. He lands the Dark Matter, Prince of Persia's just like, no, I'm not going to lose. Not like that. Not giving him the satisfaction of entertaining the fans with a win that way. Not going to happen. And a nice vaulting kick there by Prince of Persia. That was so funny. He just did not give Magus a single inch. And then maybe that's what they mean by working stiff. But a nice DDT and a nip-up again by Magus, who's not fooling around anymore if he was earlier. The cover, this certainly has got to be 2, 3. Wow. That was after a hilarious moment by the Prince of Persia. Magus able to seal the deal and get that match to its peak and finally bring it to a close. And Sophie, who guessed Magus, ends up being 1-0 for the night, and we'll see how she does when it comes to the other two matches, which I'll ask her opinion on. But a good win and a good statement by Magus here, getting his first win in CIW history.
The Vampire.
And Magus now is going to go and try and prove himself as the superior being of the shadows and of dark business, as opposed to light business. I'm in the industry of dark business, actually. We wear suits but they're always black suits. We don't wear any other colors. But maybe that's a story for Shades of Black, but a good win by Magus. And with that said, let's move on to our next match. Alright, match 2. This match is a hardcore tornado tag match between Packard and Frozone, the Unholy Alliance, going up against Johnny Cage and Bruce Lee, Mr. Money in the Bank, who's been on a roll ever since that match with Magus, the guy who we just saw back in that match where Bruce Lee was in danger of elimination, made Magus submit, and then for the next 4 matches won 5 matches, won 5 out of his last 5 matches. Starting out 0-4, is now 5-4 in his career. Has been a literal roll. Johnny Cage got a little something going until the Mortal Kombat Fatal 4-Way where he came up a little bit short. Packard, who has only won, I think, 1 match in his entire life, and it was a match that he and Ken Masters tagged in, but he and Ken Masters, he has on record one of the best matches in CIW history, if not the best thus far, I would like to say, in that 20-minute Iron Man match between himself and Ken Masters, which I would have to say may be one of the best I've ever seen in this game, just in general, ever. It was a tremendous match. It was close to the very end. I applaud both of them. And Packard, whose first match was against his tag team partner Frozone, was also a classic match. So he has 2 great matches under his belt. If nothing else, the guy can work. And Frozone and Packard have decided to name their team Lambeau Field in Packard's love of the Packers, and Frozone because he's Frozone. So, here comes Packard.
The following contest is a hardcore match. On the way to the ring, from Connecticut, Steven.
Packard, who has had a tremendous run thus far in CIW as far as great matches are concerned, would love nothing more than to get a win streak going and make his way into the upper echelon of tag team action. He needs something. So, and call it a demotion if you will, if you want to say he was demoted to tag team ranks, but this is something that Packard and Frozone have wanted to do for some time. And I have to say, I've been very impressed with Packard's attitude towards competing. It's been a lot different. Maybe it's the fireball? I don't know. But Packard, it's always good to have Packard here, and as an active member of the CIW roster. And now, whether he will stay or not, I believe it's fine to have him for now, but eventually we're going to have him probably move to Gut Check. It's all very dependent on whether, it depends on what happens. Because I know that there's a level. Alright, well, here I'm Frozone.
From Mexico, Frank.
My point was, there's a level of, professionality where I've got all of these created characters, and then I've got, just a friend of mine in it. And I understand that. And I have this internet group with around, but for all of you who are not part of that group, first of all, you're welcome to join us. Second of all, I hope you guys will warm up to Packard, as I have, and I think you will. I mean, if you really want to listen to him, really want to get to know him, if you will, go watch the Magnation, early Magnation, from 2012, and you'll get a good sense of why Packard is hysterically one of my favorites. And that's why he's in. But he may, who knows? We'll see what it is. But he's in this tag team predicament, and here comes the 2 men known as the martial artists, starting with Johnny Cage.
And the opponent, from Los Angeles, California, Hollywood.
Johnny Cage, who I think really, really shocked people when he started winning matches, really, because I wasn't really thinking too much of him. I wanted to put him higher on the list, but he just wasn't quite there. Something was missing from his routine, and he caught flow, won quite a few good matches, had a great one-on-one with his tag team partner, I believe, but maybe that wasn't filmed, I don't remember. But I believe it has been in tag team matches that Johnny Cage has actually faltered. I think he's only won 1 match, 1 tag team match in his 3 wins. And the other two have been singles matches, but we'll see how these two pair off today, because we know the martial artists have had good matches. If you all recall the Hell in a Cell match between the martial artists and the other Rangers, which the other Rangers ended up picking up the victory on that. And we haven't seen much of the other Rangers lately, but we haven't seen much of CIW Conquest in general. Here comes Bruce Lee. From Canada.
The Bruiser.
So, the man, Mr. Money in the Bank, has been completely sitting on this Money in the Bank briefcase, has had no opportunity to come in and cash it. However, we're going to give him a 3-month extension on the year in case he needs it. So it's going to be anytime, from now until August. I guess that's still fair. And by then, we'll have some more storylines to be made up. We'll end up doing more stuff. So, anyway, Bruce Lee making a huge name and a huge match. Implication. Now, this is going to lead to some tag team implications. Maybe the winner of this will get close to a tag team title shot. But I know it's going to be one of these two teams that's going to win this match. I don't mean to sound like John Madden or like Chris Collinsworth, where it's like, one of these teams is going to walk out the winner. Really, that I would not have ever been able to have determined that on my own, but I appreciate you making sure that the emphasis is there so that I know that one of these men is going to win. But I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that you're going to the very basic constructs of telling us how a match works. I appreciate that. Thank you. But that's not me. I don't do that. I just said all of that ironically. So dumb comments aside, why don't we just get onto the match? Let's just move forward and forget that I said any of that. This is a hardcore tornado tag match. And now Bruce Lee starting out with that insane flippy roll-up, and Frozone using flippy shit of his own to stop it. And now, thumb to the eye by Frozone. And now an Enziguri onto Bruce Lee. And so far, fairly even of this tag match. Falls count anywhere in this match. And a right hand. A hard right hand by Johnny Cage. Bruce Lee and Packard watching. And now a right hand to Bruce Lee. And right hands to Packard. I'm sorry, I nudged the desk a little bit. Didn't mean to do that. And nice leg attack there by Packard. And punches to the face by Frozone. And now going for an actual leg attack. Take a drink. And I think he might be too close to the ropes. Oh, I guess there are no rope breaks here in this match. That bodes well for Packard. Not so much for Johnny Cage, who's trying to fight his way out. But Packard, like a vicious velociraptor of Green Bay proportions. I don't know whether he wears cheese on his head, but he certainly drinks a lot of Fireball. But moving right along, a nice headlock there, like a sleeper headlock, and Frozo's so angry he just kicked the referee, kicked Jerry Jones. You leave Jerry Jones alone. What did he ever do to you? Must be a Bills fan. No offense to Smooth Jazz, but honestly, Frozo must be a Bills fan, because Bills fans have yet to forgive the Cowboys for 4 straight wins, 4 straight losses, where the Cowboys won 4 straight Super Bowls. Yeah, a nice clothesline. Down goes Frozone. Funny stuff. And no offense to Smooth Jazz. Smooth Jazz, as you recall, he is a Bills fan. But we're not going to talk about football and CIW. We're going to talk about CIW and CIW. And actually, this is a good opportunity to talk about the anniversary show. Because I kind of mentioned it in the second gut check video, but I didn't really have an in-depth bit. Nice double clothesline, double counter by Frozone. I didn't really have a general scope of what we're going to do. I've got much more of a base now than I did before. First of all, the anniversary show that I was referring to at the beginning, the 1-year anniversary of Joshua Campbell's stuff, that didn't end up happening. Chair shots, vicious chair shots. Oh, Incrediglitch! Didn't see the Incrediglitch happen. And instead of going for a cover, it looks like he's going to go for a Boston Crab or Frozone Crab. I forgot where he was from. And Packard and Frozone taking full advantage of the martial artists at this juncture. But back to the anniversary WrestleBration. It's going to air on February 4th, 2015. exactly 1 year after the very first episode opened up, and we started shop here in CIW. So here we go. I'm going to give you guys spoilers, if you will, which isn't really spoilers because I'm announcing it on my TV. And Packard going for a spike pile driver. And that could do it for Bruce Lee here if Packard goes for a cover, instead just going to look at his work, be like, wow, I'm proud of that pile driver. So here's as much of the card as I'm willing to reveal, because I don't want to give it all away. The anniversary show is going to end up being a pay-per-view size. We're going to have 6 matches on it, because it's our anniversary show. We want to make it bigger than, just a regular Conquest, but I don't want to make it like a pay-per-view, because I don't want to have to go through storyline. But this is just booking for fun. We're just booking crazy matches. We're not doing storyline based. We're going to have a storyline based pay-per-view coming up, but that's not going to be for a little bit. Frozone now in the ring alone against the martial artists. Bruce Lee did nothing, just kind of stood there and watched as Johnny Cage fended them off. And now chair shot blocked by the barbed wire. Now Frozone using the barbed wire on Johnny Cage. Not a good deal for the complexion or the $500 glasses, which Johnny Cage is apparently still wearing. Okay, so here's what I'm going to reveal. CIW Anniversary WrestleBration, July 4th, 2015. We are going to see Symbiote Spider-Man and the Prince of Persia collide one more time. We are going to see that match happen. As the 1 year anniversary, it seems only fair that we have the rematch from the very first match in CIW history. I will also reveal that the world champion Satan will be in action, and he will be in a fatal 4-way match. Get this, in a Hell in a Cell. Satan versus the Grim Reaper versus Kane versus The Undertaker. Yeah, and what a super kick by Bruce Lee there. Almost knocked the skull off of Packard. But yeah, that Hell in a Cell match is going to happen. And we are also going to see, in a spoiler, we're also going to see Aquaman in a ladder match defending his XYZ championship. Aquaman, who is 10-1 in his career, and now going for a cover. This could do it. 1, 2, and Johnny Cage wasn't there in time to stop it, but it looks like Bruce Lee kicked out anyway. And what a hell of a match. It could have been over there. And I'm sorry I haven't been paying much attention, but I wanted to reveal those as I could. And so I hope you guys will be ready. What we're also going to do is we're going to post on the Facebook page, which if you do not like, go like the Facebook page. Believe me, it's worth it. And what's Packard got? Got Packard a pair of brass knucks. And is that going to do it for Johnny Cage? Packard now going for the cover. Bruce Lee on the other side. 1, 2. Oh, and just barely got a chair shot. Did Bruce Lee. You couldn't see it from the camera angle, but Bruce Lee there to make the save. And what an epic comeback that was by Bruce Lee to make sure that count was broken up. A nice heads-up maneuver there. Very well done by the martial artist. But as we've seen, the Team Lambeau Field is doing the job, getting the job done, and a belly-to-belly, but Bruce Lee fighting back. The martial artists are not out of this match by any stretch of the imagination. So this has turned into an excitingly epic match, and here Bruce Lee's kicked the game of death, the cover 1, Frozone occupied, and wow. A 2 count only onto Packard. What an amazing match this has become. All 4 men on the outside. Wish this guy would put his damn sign away. And I should be paying way more attention to this match. This match has been exciting. A thrilling tag team hardcore match, as they usually are. And a bulldog. Nicely done to Frozone, who's still in this match. All 4 of these guys want a chance at tag team glory. To have their names put in the echelon of great tag teams in CIW. The greatest of all time, perhaps, could be in this series of matches. Could be in this match. Uh-oh, here comes the Incredible Glitch, but Packard going for a cover onto Johnny Cage. 1, 2, 3. And the Incredible Glitch onto Bruce Lee, adding injury to insult. But your winners, Packard and Frozone, and crazy thing just happened. Selfie is 2 for 2. So, she predicted that Frozone would win. And what an amazing hardcore match. Can't be mad with the martial artists for that performance. A great match by both teams. As per usual with our tag team, I would say we have a pretty strong tag team division here in CIW. We may not have a ton of people, but we get the job done, and we see some amazing matches. And a great match by Packard and Frozone in their quest for Tag Team Gold. Packard picking up his second or third win ever, and Frozone continuing on a pretty strong run here in CIW. And will these two make it to Tag Team Glory and make it to the top of the ladder? Only time will tell. But with that said, it's time for our main event. So remember how I said that Aquaman would be defending his XYZ championship? Well, this match, we're going to see who he's facing. So, from left to right, you have Noob Saibot, Symbiote Spider-Man, Jimmy Corderas, and Freddy Krueger. Let's get this going. I'm excited to see what this match is going to hold, because the thing about the XYZ division is that it has so many people who are able to be in it, and yet we've only seen a few people actually get the opportunity to face Aquaman. So, with the exception of Symbiote Spidey, and actually, no, Symbiote Spidey hasn't had that opportunity. With the exception of Noob Saibot, I think none of the other three competitors have fought for the XYZ Championship yet. And if Noob Saibot wins, he will be the one to face Aquaman here at the anniversary show. Because I figured we need to have something at stake. We need something on the line in this CIW anniversary show. We can't just have it be a massive book fest of just random bookings and awesome matches, including a 6-man tag match, which you are going to laugh your ass off. And then most of you are going to be angry that I would even have the gall to put some of these people in a match, let alone together, let alone on the same team. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. You're going to love it. But anyway, I know that I'm going to love it. Whether you guys do or not, that's your opinion. However, we do have some interesting matches. We have a tag match between two Hall of Fame, or two legends. Between two legends who made a very renowned tag team for themselves, and two members of Gut Check. And I'm not going to tell you who either of them are, because I don't want to give anything else away, but they're going to be competing in a tables match. And that's pretty much all I can tell you. And then, after the introductions, I'll explain the fans match. Go ahead.
The following contest is a fatal four-way, and it is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, from parts unknown, the Ninja.
So, I'm going to actually live tweet Al Snow this one. I hope he actually replies, but I kind of doubt it. But I'm going to do so anyway, just to see what he does. But anyway, here comes Noob Saibot, who's always had this different level of intensity. You see all the other Mortal Kombat ninjas, with the exception of Ermac, who's just there for the fans. But you see Smoke, you see Zephyr, you see Magma just kind of scream at the camera. And instead, this guy just playing it casual, just getting into the match, getting super focused. You know, his is much more a focused intensity than the other three, where they just start yelling like they're just ready to kick someone's ass, which is a good mentality to have, I would say. However, here comes one of the fan favorite, Spider-Man.
And the opponent, from New York, the hero.
So, I'm just finishing up this tweet to Al Snow. So we'll see if he replies. I don't think he's going to reply at this point, but I should have tweeted him that like way earlier to see if I could have gotten a prediction from them. But see, this is the things that I need to have in the note cards. when I do that. But Symbiote Spider-Man cheered, beloved by every single fan in CIW except for Magnitude. Magnitude refuses to warm up to this guy. But you can hear all the fans here. And we are in Pasadena, home of the Rose Bowl. We are in Pasadena, California tonight. So, and that's kind of not where Symbiote Spider-Man is, but Symbiote Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, very much beloved, more so than people would think, I would say. And I would say after Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which was god-awful, I would say that people are starting to miss Tobey Maguire. I just wish the writing wasn't so bad in that third episode. Where Symbiote Spider-Man comes from, here comes Jimmy Corderas.
From El Paso, Texas. From Texas, James.
You know, it occurred to me that when we had the Jimmy Corderas Chrono rivalry, that the burial match, which was in Death Valley, was not, and was in Death Valley. However, the pay-per-view itself was in Jimmy Corderas' hometown. So he didn't get to go from El Paso to his hometown to compete. He had to be in Death Valley to go bury himself, to go bury Chrono's career. And then it was unsuccessful at that. But Jimmy Corderas, who spent some time alone, he spent some time in the dark. We haven't seen a lot of him lately. But it's nice to see him back, and I know he went to the bottom of the ladder, but we have a lot of people who are busy in tag team feuds and doing nothing. So Jimmy Corderas, he wanted to come in for free just as a basic representation of the New World Order. I'm sorry I keep doing that. I keep moving the table. It's a new table. Everything I do is new all the time, 100%. New is always better. So, Jimmy Corderas representing the New World Order in this match. And speaking of representation, I have a word to say about this man, Freddy Krueger.
And the opponent, from parts unknown, the Freak.
Now, Freddy Krueger, who began in CIW, although I believe that the official launch of Freddy Krueger was after TAW's initial match, but I'm not 100% sure myself. However, if indeed Freddy Krueger, he decided to work for both companies, and I have no problem with that, obviously, because, you know, if I had to worry about that, then, I mean, I'd be no better in WWE, but see, the thing is, we really can't afford to be picky about that kind of stuff, so Freddy Krueger it is, but you know what? Maybe after a couple months of Gut Check, we might see some Gut Check competitors up here. Freddy Krueger may just be exclusive. Or maybe he'll leave, but right now he is the TAW Heavyweight Champion of the world. Has been gracious enough to not wear his TAW belt on our show to give them more publicity. However, I do recommend you watch TAW. I'm not going to be fierce against my quote-unquote competitor. Especially because of all of the people who are watching. Most people like watching both shows. And I respect that and I applaud that. It's a fun place. Both TAW and CIW. And Freddy Krueger, who talked to me the other day and said he is going to full-time represent TAW. He has been sent by Joshua Campbell to win CIW over. And now, whether I take that as an attack by Joshua Campbell or I take that as a classy move, just kind of as a delegation, diplomacy type of thing, talent exchange, if you will, I'm going to choose to not be Vince Russo and not be Eric Bischoff, and on one level, not be Vince McMahon, and I'm going to assume that Joshua Campbell means no harm by having Freddy Krueger officially represent TAW in CIW, and I'm sure that if Joshua Campbell is watching, he could clear that up for the both of us, but I would really love to hope that Joshua Campbell is more of a fan than a rival, and I would like to consider myself a fan of TAW, so it would be a shame. But I don't think that's in Joshua Campbell's, I don't think it's in his character, if you will, to be one who's willing to compete against other companies, especially one that hasn't aired for like 3 months. Like, what kind of a threat are we? But anyway, Freddy Krueger clubbing the back of Jimmy Corderas. And wouldn't it be interesting if Freddy Krueger actually did end up going all the way, winning this match, and then against Aquaman to become the XYZ champion as well as the TAW Heavyweight Champion of the world? Would be quite an interesting conundrum. we would have, and definitely would probably bring publicity to both shows. I think there would be members of the CIW roster who would take offense to that. I would hope not, but you never know. Some people are very brand loyal, and there's nothing against that. I mean, Noob Saibot, I'm pretty sure, has competed in a couple other places. Nice hip toss by Freddy Krueger onto Jimmy Corderas, and this is a fatal four-way match, and not an elimination. It is a first fall to the finish for these four competitors, three of which are wearing black, one of which is evil in Freddy Krueger. Same with Spider-Man with a nice clothesline to Jimmy Corderas, who is looking to make a rebound back into the title picture. Back in the house show days, Jimmy Corderas was our world champion back in the day. Of course, doesn't count. And a nice counter went from, looked like a reverse hurricanrana into a pin, and just too close for comfort for Jimmy Corderas to not step in and break that up. And a nice Russian leg sweep. Down goes Krueger. One of these four men will meet in the ring with Aquaman, and I wasn't even going to say that was a cover because I knew Jimmy Corderas was right there to break it up. This match, one of these four men will make their way to the well, I guess it's not really a pay-per-view, but to the special event, if we want to be WWE, posh and full of garbage. It's a special event, our anniversary WrestleBration. So I guess we can call it a special event because we'll call it a feature. How about that? A CIW feature. That's a good one. I like that. The anniversary of WrestleBration, February 4th, 2014. And I think we're going to make that an annual event. We're going to celebrate our anniversary every year with a special, with a special feature that has just like random booking. And I think that'd be fun. Like something just like not serious, not storyline related. We're just going for just straight up. For lack of a better phrase, if you've seen the Yugui and some other wrestling promotions do, here comes a shadow bomb by Noob Saibot. Is this going to do it? Bam! And Jimmy Corderas landed straight in his dome. And will this be it? Will there be a cover here? The cover, Symbiote Spider-Man right there to make that a futile effort. And now Jimmy Corderas, who is probably hurting considerably. His bald dome, not even hair to cover his fall. Instead, just straight up with a nice thrust kick, giving some payback to Noob Saibot. All four of these men have the heart and the drive to succeed. And now Jimmy Corderas is actually one person I can actually see taking offense to Freddy Krueger's TAW representation, and I don't know whether he is or not, but I could see in his personality why he'd be mad. Which is interesting because he's supporting the New World Order. The cover by Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. Oh my God! Oh, I thought that was. Oh, jeez! I was not expecting that at all. I thought we were in the middle of the match. Well. And a crazy, crazy upset, I would like to think, because I thought that those two would get back there in time. So, in a very abrupt and hilarious ending, it looks as if it's going to be Symbiote Spider-Man. Actually, no, I don't think it can be Symbiote Spider-Man. Because he is going against the Prince of Persia. I don't want to double book him, so we're going to actually make a change. This win is going to give him a title shot against the person after the anniversary show ends. Because I don't want him double booked, and I really want to see that original match. So, Symbiote Spider-Man getting a future XYZ title shot against the winner of Aquaman versus whoever that may be. Which I haven't determined yet. We might have another match for it, but a great main event. Your Al Snow tweet of the day. Let's see. There's a spider in my toilet, and I don't even remember eating a spider. So, even though you've been staring at this for a while, thank you very much for watching. My name's The Colonist. Thank you for watching Conquest, and we will see you next time.